Hello, how's it going? I am here for the first Scrap Together Sunday, and I'm excited to share a mini album with you today. And I'm hoping that our little get-togethers here are going to inspire you. I just heard from a friend, Brenda, who said these Facebook Live Stamp Together and Scrap Togethers are getting her inspired to get her stuff out. So I hope that's the case for more and more of you, because that's what this is all about. Just getting your creative juices flowing during this time of being sheltered at home, and to give you some new ideas, I hope. And today, with it being the first Scrap Together Sunday, I just am excited to do something a little bit different. And I'm hoping to show you that scrapbooking doesn't have to be overwhelming. It can be fun, and it can be just a few pictures and not a whole album. You know, it can be really a great way to showcase some of your favorite pictures. So what I'm going to do today is walk you through a mini album made with envelopes. And I hope you found my supply list. If you're watching this without having supplies handy, that's okay. You can watch back later and get your supplies out then. So what I'll try to do is I'll try to make sure that you know what sizes everything is as I'm going, so that you can recreate it later, even if you're not ready to do that today. So let's just get going, I guess. So we'll set the camera, and we'll get my space ready here. And as you can see, I've got the 4 envelopes that I told you to have ready. It's size A2, which fits our 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch greeting cards that we make. I also asked you to have some designer, or just some regular cardstock ready. 4 of the pieces should be 4 inches by 5 inches, and 4 of the pieces 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. There's a small reason for the difference in sizes. You could have probably used all 4 by 5, but this just makes it a little easier, and you'll see when our album is completed, to pull things out of where they need to come from. So the shorter ones are there for a reason. So anyway, I am using Garden Green, Night of Navy for my 3 3/4 by 5, and Crushed Curry and Poppy Parade to brighten things up a little bit for my 4 by 5s. And the inspiration for these colors came from this designer series paper that we have. Stampin' Up! Has in their January to June mini catalog right now. It is a golfing designer series paper on one side, but really on the other side it's got Argyle that is so much fun, that I just love papers like this. And as you can see in this one, the colors that I'm using are colors in here. And my hope is that when I go back to embellish my album and add my pictures, that I can use some of these papers in it as well. So I love the plaids, I love the Argyles, so that's what inspired me to use what I'm using. And then in that suite of products, we also have 4 baker's twines that match. So I knew that because I needed a baker's twine for this project, this would be a great choice. So I grabbed some of the navy, and that's kind of how I'm pulling this all together here. So if you are ready, grab your envelopes, because that's how we're going to start. And I'm not going to judge you if you lick your envelopes. I am going to use an aqua painter filled with water. That is one way that when I'm sending cards through the mail right now, that I'm sealing them instead of using my God-given wetner. So we're going to take the first envelope, and you can lick. I see I have some colored ink on my aqua painter yet. But I'm just going to moisten the that part here, and then I'm going to attach it. Oops, one more thing. You'll want to put some adhesive across close to the fold, and then this is going to be attached. The bottom of one envelope is attached to the flap of the next. Okay, so you're going to want to be able to close that envelope yet, like this. So don't overlap the fold, but right up to the fold so that it all folds together yet. You could certainly stop right there and make it just a small scrapbook for just a few pictures. We're going to keep going. So do the same thing. It might be a good idea to put your adhesive on first so that your moistened seal here doesn't dry. So then the same thing on the next one. You'll want to get right up to the fold, but not overlapping the fold. For those of you who have been customers of mine for a long time, I have done these types of albums in a class before, maybe twice, but I do think it's an idea that is worth bringing back a few times. So I'm just going to give you a chance to catch up if you haven't done that already. Crystal, I'm glad. I think you're talking about the aqua painter, right? That you wish you would have thought of that before. Yeah, I know. It's a good idea. All right, so we'll do that to the fourth one as well. So then you're going to have a train of all four of your envelopes hooked together to make your mini album, just like that. All right, like I said, I'm going to try to talk to give you just a little bit of time to catch up, but remember that you can go back to the video later and replay it, and then you'll be able to pause it when you want to pause it and so forth. So the next thing, just a small thing, but I want you to peak fold, like mountain fold in the middle. So 2 envelopes on the left, 2 envelopes on the right, and mountain fold that, and then tuck that in under the flap at the top, and then the last one just gets folded up. So I'll walk you through that one more time. 2 envelopes on either side, mountain fold, up under the flap, and then fold that bottom part up. This is how your album is going to go together. Okay. Then we're going to take I grabbed a 3/4 inch circle punch because I have that, but I also wanted you to know in the list of supplies that you can also just cut a square 3/4 inch. So then just use your punch to punch that out, and then go ahead and adhere that to the front part of the flap, just down sort of towards the bottom. And then I said to have either an 1/8 inch circle punch or a paper piercer. I'm going to grab my paper piercer, and I'm putting a hole right in the center of that circle. I hope you can see that. Okay, so once you're that far now, we're going to take our Baker's Twine ribbon, and the point is that you want the hole pretty small, because you don't want your Baker's Twine ribbon to slip through there when you get it closed. That's why I use my paper piercer, but depending on your ribbon size or whatever it is, you'll have to play with that. And if you're doing it now and it doesn't work, just take the circle off and redo it again. And take about 8 inches of your 36-inch long Baker's Twine ribbon and fold it right at that 8 inches. So you have a really long piece and then this 8-inch short piece here. And then take that folded part, loop it around, and take that fold and put it through the loop, and then make a knot real close to that loop. So you have a tiny little loop there. Oh my gosh. I am so sorry. We don't want to do that yet. Ah! Okay, remove. Sorry. Okay, now with this fold, before you make a knot in it, sorry, you're going to want to get this through here. I am going to use my paper piercer to push the baker's twine through the hole. And I haven't done this on camera, so it might take me 10 minutes, but I'll get it. Okay, so once you have it through there, then you can use your fingernails or tweezers to pull that through. Okay. Whew. All right, so just pull it through long enough so that now you can take and loop and make your knot. I am so sorry that I forgot that part. Okay, so now the goal is for that knot to be bigger than the hole you made so that you can pull that without pulling it through. All right, so I hope that makes sense and you've been able to follow along so far. And then just the way this is going to go then is the long string goes one direction and loops around a couple of times, and then you'll be able to tie this in a bow for easy access to your album. Okay, and it's nice to keep them long so that it's easy to tie. All right, so let's go back into the center of your album. So open that up again. And obviously we're going to want to add pictures. So we're going to start with the shorter pieces, so 3 3/4 by 5. And what I want you to do is put adhesive. You're going to put adhesive on one long side, 2 short sides, and then one more down the middle of your long. What you don't want is to put adhesive at the top here so that it seals that envelope shut. So now you can attach that to the inside, leaving a white border around the outside, but being easily able to get into that pocket, okay? Are we following so far? Nobody's really commenting on me going too fast, so that's a good sign. All right, so here we've got our decorated piece, and notice that if we would have used the 4-inch piece, it just gets up there really high and it's going to be harder to grab what's in the pocket. So that's why we cut these just a little bit shorter. All right, go to the next piece and do the same thing. So you want adhesive on both short sides, one long side, and then kind of down the middle. And then adhere that one next. I'm just being careful to line up the one above so that it's uniform. Okay, we'll do that next one. And I'll go back to the garden green. I hope you're all having a good day. I haven't been outside yet today. I slept until 9, which was absolutely amazing, which probably will, if you were here for Stamp Together Saturday yesterday, I cried, and I think sleep was one reason. So now that I've slept, I don't think I'll cry for you today. Not that I don't love you, and not that I'm not glad you're here. I'm better rested. Okay, now I'm on the bottom one. So I'll do the same thing, adhesive on the sides. And yesterday was such a beautiful day. I got out and exercised, and it was just very nice. So, all right, so remember to leave that top section open so that you don't seal the opening of your envelope shut. All right, so easy peasy. Yep, very good. All right, and now these next pieces, simple. You just stick those into the openings of the envelopes. And those are going to be pull-out pieces that you can add photos or embellishments or journaling to later. Like I said, over the years, I've made a few of these. I have one that I'm going to show you at the end. But I just challenge you to go ahead and get your pictures in there and your embellishments so that you will be able to show it off soon. All right, so remember to close it now. We take the middle, make a mountain fold, slide it up under the flap, flip the bottom envelope over it, and close the flap. Take the long string, wrap it around twice, and then we've got ourselves a fabulous album. You could obviously decorate the outside as well. And let me just show you one of my finished ones. This was from many, many years ago. We had a fun stamp set where I just stamped the photo log there at the bottom. We used to have hemp, forget what it was called in our catalog, but it's a thicker linen thread, but it's very much like that baker's twine that we have now. So that's what I used. And then remember when we used eyelets a lot? Those of you who have been stamping for a long time remember the eyelets, so I put an eyelet in there too. If you have some still, you can certainly add the eyelet to the center here. All right, so then I'm just going to open one page at a time, but the kids were really little, and I had some pictures made in black and white to add to these reds and greens and blues. So here's Grace on a swing, and then we used to have this little kit that had these punch outs. I added a little picture there with some journaling. And then in the pocket, we had a photo log so I could tell what it was about, where it was, and the notes about what happened that day. See, these words are a little bit even smaller, or these pieces are smaller than we just used. So you can really use any size, but I like the bigger size because they're easier to grab out of the pockets. Then here's one with Owen. And again, this pocket, instead of journaling, has 3 different pictures. So you can layer more color onto your background pieces that we attached. Like I said, I'm going to use the Designer Series paper, and it can be a real simple embellishment, or you can go a little bit more crazy, but we used to have chipboard, so that's a chipboard element that I added to mine. And then there's one at the bottom with just another spot for a photo. So that's our mini album for the day for Scrap Together Sunday. And I just want to say a big fat thank you to everybody for joining me. I think it's been so fun to get together that I wasn't going to be doing Scrap Together Sunday every Sunday, and I've decided that I'm going to now. So join me again next Sunday for another episode of Scrap Together Sunday, and I'll have another great album for you, and maybe by then you'll have some work done on the one we did today. So check in with me next week and anytime in between. Have a great day and enjoy your time with your family.